welcome to another episode of Q&A with S&A. My name's Chelsea and today we have a very special episode for you. So we're collaborating with Eat Up Australia. Basically, Eat Up is Australia's only organisation that provides free lunches to students all across Australia on a nationwide level. Their primary focus is to provide food to children in need so that they're able to learn, grow and succeed at school. Each week, Eat Up delivers about 30,000 lunches to school children across Australia. The way that we at Aintree Group get involved is we make thousands of sandwiches, which then get shipped out to schools all across Australia and are discreetly distributed to students who need that food because they haven't been able to be provided that at home. Today we get to see behind the scenes in what a sandwich making workshop looks like, and we get to talk to Nathan Waterhouse from Eat Up about his role in the organisation and what they do and the importance of making sure that children in our own community are fed and able to focus and get the most out of school. So enjoy.
So today we are here with Q&A with S&A, which is a bit of a different structure than what you're normally used to seeing us. We are not in the podcast studio today. We are in the lounge at Aintree Group, and we are joined by the incredible Nathan from Eat Up. Now, Aintree Group have been doing Eat Up for a number of years now. This is the first time we've had this very professional setup in this space, so it's really exciting, and we are excited to have you here. So thanks for coming along today, Nathan.
Amazing.
Tell me what it is that you do at Eat Up and why you chose to do it.
So my role in particular is these volunteer sessions, which are really at the heart of Eat Up and our support for these hungry kids. So I set up these sessions as you've come and seen, and I run them and get you guys to work to make at least 1,000 sandwiches in an hour. And the other half of my job is delivering them. So taking them to the schools, going to the schools, talking to the teachers there, and giving them the meals basically.
Yeah, awesome.
And I chose it, I heard about it through a supervisor at another internship I was doing, and it just sounded like an amazing opportunity to be able to help. I was doing it part-time in uni, and this year, since I finished uni, was happy to just go sort of full-time with it. And it's just a really rewarding experience, and sort of got a lot of purpose with it, which I really enjoy. And it's a lot of fun as well. These sessions are always a real good for time, so I love to come into different workplaces and see the vibe there and the culture. And just have fun.
What degree did you do?
I did a double degree in behavioural commerce and international relations at Monash out in Clayton. So it was a 4-year course. I took 5 years to work on the side. But sort of introduced me to issues on the international relations side particularly. I was doing just business, but it wasn't gripping me as much as I would have liked, so I went into that double degree and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's a really good way, and I know this has got nothing to do with Eat Up, but I guess most people kind of think that if you go into an organisation like Eat Up, you might have had some sort of like catering or hospitality background or something like that. It's not, I think it's really good for the people who listen to Q&A with S&A. They're pretty diverse range of people, but oftentimes we'll talk about how somebody got to where they are now. And I think it's really interesting to understand that, you did a double degree, which is pretty tough anyway, like it's a pretty serious ask to do that, and you've gone into a place like Eat Up, and it's not, I guess most people would kind of expect that you'd end up in some like high-flying corporate job where you wear a suit all day and that sort of stuff. So I think it's really cool. You said that you were doing volunteering with Eat Up before you finished your degree, and then did they have a job available, or did they say, Nathan, actually you're just really awesome and we want you to stay with us?
So I would have to say I wasn't volunteering. I was always
awesome.
Sort of casual with uni, just 2 or 3 days a week with the uni schedule. But then it sort of opened up that I would just be able to sort of do it, the full-time hours throughout the week. It's an interesting one. I'm doing this for now, and I would love to do it as long as I can. There still might be in the future selling my soul per se and going into the big bad corporate world, but that's why I was absolutely just happy to to continue doing this for this year,
Yeah.
just because it's such a great job and it's
Yeah.
so much fun.
I think it looks pretty good on the CV too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
as an employer, I think it looks pretty good on the CV.
Yeah,
so
nice.
going into the corporate world, I think it's good to have this sort of
Yeah.
thing on your CV. So it
Yeah.
definitely isn't the worst thing you could be doing.
No, not at all. And there's a lot of skills I get from it as well. Like when I
Yeah.
started, wasn't the best at public speaking, for example, but
Yeah.
when you have to go into corporate sessions and talk in front of 50 people and make them enjoy it as well, it's you learn those skills. And there's the commerce side can come into it. It's a charity, but we're still trying to see how we can optimize costs and the benefits that we get from it. So
Yeah.
there's always something you can take away from any opportunity you have,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
do try and do.
Yeah. When you go into the schools,
Mhm.
how does that all work? Because most people won't know
Yeah.
what EAT-UP does, let
Sure.
alone how it works.
Yeah, so we will deliver to schools in bulk with their sandwiches, and they will generally freeze them. So that's anywhere from 25 sandwiches for a smaller primary school up to 600 sandwiches for, say, a bigger high school with a high need. They will then freeze them, and when it's time to distribute them, they'll take them out, toast them up, and distribute them as toasties. We give it to the schools and the teachers in particular to decide how they distribute them, because those teachers are the ones that know those kids that might be coming to school without lunch and might be needing that support. So that can be noticing some behavioural things in the classroom and having a quiet conversation. It can be the kids just coming to the staff room at lunch and saying they're hungry, is there anything to eat? Or we're seeing more and more breakfast clubs are using them actually. So it really started as a lunch focused charity, but like I say, we let the schools decide. And schools are having to run more breakfast clubs during the week, just anecdotally talking to teachers. They're having to run more and more kids are coming, so that's also where a lot of them are going. So we give them enough to last them 3 weeks. We have 8 different delivery runs, and then it sort of cycles through there.
So do you always go back to the same schools?
It's me and one other guy do this job of these sessions and the deliveries. So between us we have 2 session days a week and 2 delivery days a week. And so a session day has 2 sessions, so that's 2,000 a day, so 4,000 a week each. So between us we have 8,000. In terms of the runs, it's mainly the same, but we'll also sort of switch sometimes, but it'll be largely the similar runs that we'll do.
So you spend a lot of time on the road?
A lot of time, about half my job.
Yeah, wow. You've been doing this for a little while now. We know that our team is super competitive when it comes to making sandwiches, and they would probably make you 8,000 sandwiches if you wanted them to. Do you find that corporate teams are really competitive? Like I know EAT-UP does some community days as well. How does the dynamic change between the 2 different setups?
I would say so. You get a range though as well, which is another part I love of the job, is seeing that different vibe of each workplace. Some workplaces are really very, very competitive, such as Aintree. Some places not so much, but still a great session. So I do like to see that. In terms of the community days, they're always a bit interesting because you have kids involved and you have the family members involved. So maybe it's not quite as intense of trying to beat each other, but it's a different experience as well, which is always a lot of fun. I have a session tomorrow at a school where the kids are making them, so they're always a certain level of chaos is involved with the kids. But
I mean, it gets pretty chaotic here.
It does indeed,
I can only imagine if you've got kids doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the part that fails the most? Like if you've got, I can see how we've got it set up. So I think in previous sessions that we've done, we've had one group doing like buttering the bread, and then one group doing the cheese, and then one group doing the wrapping. I think we've got a bit of a different setup this time. Like it looks like we're doing bread and cheese at the same time. What gets the most chaotic about all of this?
It comes from every area. You have some makers that will butter the wrong side of the bread or not butter both the inside pieces. You'll have wrappers that don't entirely close the bread. You'll have stackers that are stacking them in piles of 4 instead of 5. It's a bit of a spread. In terms of what's most visceral is probably the butter in the wrong side of the bread on the crust pieces, because we do use the crust pieces, but when we do, we butter the crust side so it's in the middle and hidden from the kids. So you always hear co-workers having a little go at their colleague when they notice that mistake. So that's probably the funnest.
We might see some of that happen today
might,
as we're watching and videoing around.
I might give permission to shame them.
That's totally fine. We absolutely will shame them. This team are super competitive. I reckon, what did we do last year, Charles, for our timing? Chelsea's behind the camera.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
30 minutes, 1,000 sandwiches in 30 minutes.
Wow.
I don't think we've got quite the same setup this year, because I think Eat Up have worked us out that they need the session to go for the time that it needs to go for. So we'll see, but I reckon we'll be pretty competitive today as well. And keep listening to the episode so you can see what goes on in this sort of chaos. It's super fun, and thanks so much for coming today, Nathan, and putting this together for us, because you are doing something amazing, and this is just a tiny element of like how corporate workplaces can get involved in something super cool like Eat Up. So listen in to the rest of the episode, but it's going to be super fun. So I'm just over here in the corner doing a bit of a video of what's going on at Aintree Group today for the Q&A with SNA podcast, and standing back, listening to the team, having a really good time, but also smashing it out for Eat Up charity. We've been doing this for a number of years now, and the team absolutely love it, and it's a really amazing thing for people to be able to do when they're in business. It's a super cool team building activity, but it is also something that makes a real difference to the lives of kids in Victoria in particular. And so we're really keen and really proud of our team for being involved in something like this today. They do it willingly. They all run around and make as many sandwiches as they can, and this sort of thing is something that's really important to us, and it's a way that we get to be a team together, as well as being able to show the community around us the sort of people that we are. And this is all about living our Aintree Group values while we have a bit of a boogie with the music, and everyone gets involved. It's just super cool. So there'll be more information on this podcast about how you can get yourself involved in Eat Up if it's something that you would like to do from a corporate perspective. We do it every year. If you are a small business and you don't have enough people in your team to be able to do this sort of thing on your own, then please feel free to reach out to the team at Aintree Group. Chelsea and Laura, our marketing team, will get in touch with you and let you know how you can become involved in it, because we're always willing to add a few more tables to our own events so that you can become involved